I would not only have to qualify to get in the door, but I would consistently have to requalify every single week, every single month.
I mean, amazing story, because if you didn't go to the coffee shop, we may not be sitting here today, right?
We may not, or we'd be talking about the schmutza business, the clothing, the apparel,
exactly.
Right? Not talking about what is now one of the largest companies on the planet.
So how important is luck when it comes to business?
Incredibly, and it's something that people don't like to talk about because it's very difficult to replicate luck. It's very difficult to strategize luck, but it plays a huge role. I mean, look, forget Harley for a second. Just talk about Shopify. When Toby wrote those first lines of code for Snow Devil, one, he wrote the code in a software language called Ruby on Rails, which was just up and coming. It was Shopify, 37 Signals, and Twitter that were the first companies that were really built on this new, very modern coding language called Ruby on Rails. Second of all, e-commerce was just emerging. You really had a bunch of different marketplaces, but in order for you to build your own online store, it was very, very expensive, like 7 figures. Otherwise, you had no other options. And so luck and timing certainly play a role, but so does putting yourself in a position where you can execute on that good fortune and you can execute on that serendipity. It's funny, I talk about the t-shirt business. Sometimes I talk about my little DJ business that I had. I don't talk about the slipper company. I don't talk about the watch winder company. I don't talk about the nurse uniform company. My past is littered with a ton of failures. Luckily for me, the things that succeeded, offset the stuff that didn't. But the one thing that I still have in my DNA today, and I credit my grandparents for this, who are Hungarian immigrants, is that I've always felt like a survivor. I don't mean a Holocaust survivor. I didn't go through anything like that, but I mean I've always felt like a survivor in terms of give me, I can take a lot, and my ability to have an equal amount of energy on the next go around is consistent. And I think that's been my power, my superpower since I was a kid.
It also seems like something you and I both have in common is we're both tenacious in a sense that we're not afraid to ask. And I think, I was on a podcast recently where someone asked me what's the best advice I ever got, and it's just ask. So luck put you in that coffee shop, but you still went on a different way, right? You and Toby weren't partners after the coffee shop. You still had to go back and ask to be part of it. So luck put you in a situation to meet Toby, but it didn't get you what you wanted, which was a partnership with him, right? You had to then go back and ask and figure out that's what you wanted to do. So you actually took control.
Yeah, I think part of, I think no matter where you're at, if you're an entrepreneur or you work at a company or you work in, the public sector or you're anything, there is this human nature to want to find comfort all the time. We always want to find more comfort. And we are raised to seek comfort and seek certainty as much as possible. And I had to recalibrate my mind, my brain, my understanding of the world to actually get really, really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I did that through coaching. I did that through mentorship, advisors, reading lots, meditation. But I knew that if I not only want to join Shopify, but eventually help to lead Shopify, I would not only have to qualify to get in the door, but I would consistently have to requalify every single week, every single month. And even now, I have to requalify to be the chief operating officer of Shopify every single week. Because if I don't requalify and there's someone else who would make a better COO of Shopify, that person should get the role. So by having this philosophy of getting really comfortable, being uncomfortable, and then feeling like you're never done, you're always trying to learn more. Carol Dweck has this great book called Mindset. I'm not sure if you read it, but it's almost required reading for everyone that I work with at Shopify. It talks about this idea of a growth mindset. That is the most important thing, I think, for an entrepreneur to have, or frankly, anyone at Shopify to have. And most folks have a fixed mindset where they feel like they know what they know and that's it. And they may tweak it and they may try to sharpen it, but there's a limited set of understanding and knowledge. And I don't believe that. I think that we all of us need to requalify for whatever we're doing every single week. But it also makes things a lot more fun that way.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want, check out our most recent video over here. And this one is the one YouTube thinks you'll like. But if you really enjoyed watching, please do me a favor, like and subscribe over here. Thank you so much.